This week in this series of designing our rental, we're tackling the kitchen. Especially because we're renting and I don't have the option to just do whatever I want with this kitchen, I found it really helpful to identify the biggest problems and try to come up with design solutions to fix those. The first and probably biggest problem is the countertop. Granite countertops are definitely a little bit of an outdated feel, but that's not necessarily the problem I have with it. The problem I have is the colors in it. There's flecks of purple, and the background is a little bit of a mix of a gray beige situation. It's definitely cutting the space in half because we have these cabinets that are kind of like a buttery yellow white color on top and on the bottom. Since I can't change the countertops, I think that changing the cabinets is going to really help the countertops become the focal point without calling attention to how ugly they are. We want to really play in to what we have, and I think by making the bottom cabinets a dark color that ties in the countertops and making the upper cabinets just the same color as the walls, we can really make some big improvements without having to change those countertops. The second large problem is the backsplash. So this backsplash is not a real backsplash. It's just like a decal. It's one of those cheap, easy sort of ways to sidestep doing tile by installing stickers that look like tile. And I do not like that whole concept. And I also don't think that the colors in this go with the space at all. So we really need to find some way to change this, cover it up, some renter-friendly solution. So that's the second problem we'll be tackling in this video. And the third is just that the space overall feels a little bit visually cluttered. I think the problem here is my stuff, for lack of a better word. It's really difficult whenever you move because you move, let's just say, from kitchen to kitchen, and for the most part your stuff stays the same, but when you try to juxtapose it in a new context, a new design, sometimes it just doesn't work. And it's a real bummer and sort of balancing act because I don't like to just buy all new things every time I move, especially because I kind of move a lot. And some of my things I love. So I want to try to figure out a way to keep as many things as possible that I really like in the kitchen, but change out the things that definitely need to go. And as we're doing that, we're gonna find better ways to organize my things here in the kitchen to make it feel more tidy. So now that we're kind of on the same page with what needs to be done, let's get to work.
Gross. Is that from the people who live here? Lived here? Sure.
So as you saw yesterday, we painted all of the upper cabinets and I just put them back on with Jake this morning. And honestly, it's hard to tell on camera, but they do look so much better. They just kind of recede into the background now instead of standing out as like a little more buttery yellow than the rest of the room, which is exactly what I want. But today is going to be the fun part because we're going to be painting the lower cabinets. I was trying to decide on a paint color for the lowers, and the whole purpose is to match the countertops or like the little specks in the countertops and really ground the space. So I ended up going with the color Soul Searching. It was the one that wasn't quite as dark. This is not a super bright space in here. There's no like immediate windows in the kitchen. There's windows definitely in the rooms around the kitchen, but the kitchen lower cabinets aren't gonna get a whole lot of natural light. So I did opt to go a shade lighter, which I think is gonna be the way to go. And you'll notice I did not put the handles back on these upper cabinets, and that's because we are going to be changing them out. So that will be happening later in the video. That's good for now. Looks so much purpler than I thought. That's right. Oh, I was gonna say. I just hope that it's not like, whoa, purple. Because that's not what I was going for. Right. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Very purple.
That's what I said. I'm a little bit fearing. I'm coming to you from the car because the color I chose was way too purple. Like, it was so weird. In different lights, it just looked completely different, and I fucked up. So, it looks way too purple. It's like, I wanted a color that you looked at it and you're like, oh, is that brown or is that a little purple? And this was like straight up purple, as you might be able to tell. So I'm going a different direction. I'm going browner, like more neutral and darker. So I'm on my way to the paint store. It's not a huge waste of paint because the color we're painting over is like very, very light. And so we're gonna need multiple coats anyway. And we probably would have needed to go get another gallon of whatever color we chose. So we're just doing like, almost treating this bad color as a primer. And yeah, so as the second and third coat, we'll be using the correct color. We're finishing up the first coat and it's looking so much better. I'm so happy with the color now. It is gonna need one more coat, but that's okay because we have plenty of paint. So for the cabinet handles, I ordered these, just like really simple wood ones. They look like this. They're really nice. I love the natural wood look of them actually. But the reason I got them is actually to paint them, which I'm doing right now, because I want them to kind of blend in with the cabinets. So I'm gonna be painting the ones for the uppers white and the ones for the lowers that like dark brown eggplant. I feel like in a smaller space like this where there's already a lot of sort of visual clutter and places for your eye to go, it's not always great to have like a statement handle or anything like that. So I'm thinking this is the best way to go to just make them really sort of blend in, and we'll see how it looks. I think in another kitchen, like a different designed kitchen, these wood ones would be so pretty. So I don't know, I'm gonna remember these because they were also super affordable because they're just very, very simple. Painting these last night. I think they came out really nice. The shape is really nice and simple and modern, which I think this kitchen needs. So I'm gonna install these and we can finish out these cabinets this morning. the record, we did not put all this heinous glue on here. This was here when we came. I'm telling the camera. Didn't want them to see that and be like, what are you doing? Okay, I'm really happy with how this is looking. I feel like the look of the handles being the same color as like the respective cabinets is kind of unique. Like at first I was looking at it, I'm like, is it weird? Like I just feel like I haven't seen this look much. The more I look at it, the more I like it. Honestly, it accomplishes the goal that I had perfectly. These handles obviously are painted as well, and these are the most high contact area. So I'm curious how they are gonna hold up, how the paint on the handles will hold up. I'm super happy with like the overall look. Okay, so the last big issue that I want to tackle in this kitchen is the backsplash. If you didn't see my like before house tour video, then I'll catch you up on the backsplash. This is just like a sticker, like a series of decals behind there meant to look like backsplash tile. And not only do I not like the idea of like a sticker meant to look like a tile, but the color of it and just the style of it does not match this kitchen. It didn't match the kitchen before. It certainly doesn't match the kitchen now. And so I want to cover it with something. And in that last video, I talked about potentially doing beadboard all the way across. That's something I did in my last house, but I actually owned that house, and after thinking about it, I feel like it's not the best like renter friendly solution. And so I am going to go with plan B, which is a stainless steel backsplash plate to install just right over top of those decals. I think I'll damage the wall too much if I try to take it off. So I'm just going to screw in a plate that I buy hopefully at Lowe's. I'm hoping they have it like in stock so I can do this today. And then to kind of finish it out, I'm gonna replace the switch covers and the outlet covers with wood ones that I can paint the same color as the wall. They're currently like stark white and kind of dirty. And while it's not that big of a deal, I do think that switching them out and just painting them the same color as the wall is going to make this look a lot more continuous and just less kind of busy and messy. So that's what we're gonna tackle today, and then it'll just be finishing touches from there, which I have a few ideas for. So let's go to Lowe's. I'm praying that they have what I need. So I'm assuming this side is the front with like the blue film on it. So I almost feel like I should install it, like screw it into the wall before I even pull this film off, just to keep it from getting scratched while I'm working with it.
Gotcha. Cool.
All right, I'm gonna find some screws that will fit in here. I will say the sticker in the back is making it so that stays up without me needing another set of hands. So that's kind of nice. I'm gonna drill pilot holes first. just to make this easier. So I'm just marking out where I'm gonna do that. Also, you might be seeing that this plate is smaller than the sticker in the background. So this is showing through, but I did anticipate that. So don't worry, there is a step 2 to this process. I actually think this looks so much better. This wasn't gonna be like my first choice of what to put back here, but because the microwave is stainless steel and the oven is stainless steel, having that same material and color in between, I haven't even pushed this all the way back yet, but I just already know that it's gonna look so much better, and that was so quick compared to what it would have taken me to do beadboard. But anyway, when I measured, I anticipated that this wouldn't cover the full sticker. And so I did get some trim that I'm just gonna paint the same color as the wall and cut to size. And we will install that to finish it out. Okay, this is not the best or safest way to do this at all, but I have not set up my saw yet. So I'm just going to trim this really quick with my multi-tool. It's probably not gonna come out super clean, but I'll just sand it. So now I just need to paint these, but while I'm painting, I'm gonna paint these outlet covers and switch covers too, because they're all gonna be the same color. I have my nail gun out for these. Don't want to nail into this whatsoever. Got it wedged in there. For this one, I actually ended up cutting out a little notch because of the shape of this. This opening isn't completely centered and there's just like, I don't know, a little piece of it that's off. So I tried to account for that. Yay. That small change makes such a huge difference. Just to not have like the blue tones back there.
Well, it just looks clean.
It looks so clean. Okay, it is looking really good in here. I'm so happy with the backsplash. It was so much cheaper and easier than doing beadboard. And honestly, I think it accomplishes the goal almost just as much. The goal was really just to simplify and streamline the materials and things in this space, and that is exactly what it did. So it's really just finishing touches down to this point. I've made a few small changes just over the last week off camera that I want to show you first, and then we'll do the last few together. The first thing is the faucet. So the faucet that we used to have in this rental was that like oil rubbed bronze color, and it did not work well at all. And so we asked if they would replace it, and they said I could pick one out. And so that is what I did. I just picked a very, very simple one. Again, going with the stainless steel. That's probably brushed nickel finish, just to keep things consistent. So not only does that look a lot better, but it works so much better now, and I can actually like clean the dishes. The second thing is I got these Way hand lotion and hand washes. If you're gonna work hard making your kitchen look nice and keep it clean, then having like really aesthetic bottles really makes a difference. So anyway, I ended up purchasing those, and I also put them on this little tray that I already had. So I think that is looking cute. Another thing I did already is hang these plates. These were hanging at my old house in the kitchen, and I just loved the little vignette that we had. So I really wanted to bring it into this kitchen too. And I think it's cute. One thing I'm kind of struggling with in this space is hand towels. I think a lot of my issues come from the fact that my last kitchen was really simple. Like most of the countertops were white. It was like very open and airy, and the cabinets were like a really light green. So we have so much green in terms of like our decor that just doesn't work in this space. So it's a real bummer. I'm definitely a green girly. It's one of my favorite colors, especially for a kitchen. It just feels so nice and fresh, but it just doesn't work in this kitchen. So the hand towels really kind of clash, which is a bummer. I'm not gonna get rid of these by any means, but for the ones that we just have out, especially here and underneath our dish, like drying rack, I do want to switch them out. So my mom gave me these. They're the Target brand, like Joanna Gaines Heart and Home, Hearth and Hand, whatever the fuck it is. And I love them. I think they're so pretty. And they definitely look better with the countertops, but they're still not exactly right. Like I don't want to have these everywhere, but I am going to get rid of these, and I want to switch them out for something a little more neutral. So these are my bath towels. So I don't want to use these permanently, but they are a good color reference. So I'm just going to use them for now and bring them with me next time I go shopping for hand towels. In fact, the more I look at it, the more this will fall. Next green thing that is just not giving in this kitchen is this spoon rest. I'm just gonna put it away for now and switch it out with something I already have, which is this cute little vintage plate that I thrifted a long time ago. I have a set of 4 of these, and I don't use them all that much, so we can spare one as our little spoon rest. One thing I'm in the market for is some pretty salt and pepper shakers, which I think would look really nice there too. In that little vignette, but you can't rush that process. The last little section that just needs a little bit of help is this, the tea and smoothie bowl nook. I just feel like it's not looking great, and I was trying to figure out why, and I think it's 2 things. I think this, like these guys just look messy. Like individually, they're not ugly. In fact, this is very cute, but with the wires and everything, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of messy. Then the other problem is this bookend. It's pretty in and of itself, but it's clashing with the stone of the countertops. So I'm gonna switch this out with a vase. I don't have flowers yet, but I'm going to get some. And I have this really pretty vase that I thrifted a while ago that I'm just gonna put here. And so I think this will really kind of make this corner look a lot better. And then for these, a good tip for when your things are looking a little messy is to put them on a surface or a tray. So I'm gonna see if I like this. This is just a cutting board that we don't use that often because it's giant. It doesn't like hide the cords or anything, but it does just like create a little collection of these on here and just makes it look a little bit more intentional. I think that really helps. And it also brings in warmth. Like this wood, there's no wood really anywhere but the floors in this kitchen. and I like the warmth that it brings. So I think that actually really helps. Guys, I'm so happy with how this kitchen turned out. There's a lot more work to be done. I think that the kitchen is gonna feel even better once we tackle this breakfast nook slash dining room that I'm sitting in now, which is not at all in its final form. So definitely subscribe if you're interested in more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.